mission of the 64th Aggressor Squadron is to know, teach, and replicate. So we do all of those things in support of the weapons school. Most importantly is replication. So what we provide to them is a training platform at the top tier. So we can do that as the most high-end threat adversaries available today. So for them, we can provide the highest end, top tier threat picture, and that's in all the domains. So think air, space, cyberspace, surface to air systems. We provide all of that training to the weapons school.
Chief Master Sergeant Terry Jo Reppy, the United States Air Force Weapons School Superintendent. My background is in command and control battle management. I'm what's called a weapons director. The United States Air Force Weapons School has 9 enlisted training courses. All of our courses that are enlisted, they work in concert with the officer courses. So they go through the training alongside the officer counterparts, and we contribute to the CAF mission as teams as well. Are the most high-performing airmen I've ever worked with. They make me proud every day. I know that if there's a problem within the DoD, the Department of Defense, the Air Force, or any joint service, that our airmen are going to be the ones to solve those problems.
Colonel Jack Arthod, Commandant of the United States Air Force Weapons School. The mission of the Air Force Weapons School is to build, teach, and lead. We train weapons officers in the art of controlling and exploiting airspace and cyberspace in defense of our nation and in support of the Joint Force. I'm most proud of the folks that I get to work with at the Weapons School. We have incredible, committed patriots and Americans who work extremely hard to become experts at what they do, but most importantly, they do it so they can become exceptional instructors who can make those around them better. So to even be accepted to the weapons school, you have to be among the top 10% in your career field. And then once you get here, we make you the best and we make you better. Graduates of the weapons school earn the patch on our left shoulder, and they go back as the chief instructor for their unit to prepare them for combat deployments and then to lead in combat.
It's cool to be the bad guy because I always have a vote. I always get to decide when and where I want to fight. I get to decide what assets I want to bring to the fight. I can sit there and I can hawk the fight and just wait. Just wait till the situations present themselves that are to my advantage. And I can levy those times, those capabilities to when blue or the good guys are weakest, shifting the entire axis of the fight. So what they thought was happening is not at all what is really going on. That red star should induce panic, should induce terror. When you see me taxi by with my helmet on and my red star slapped on the back in a different colored F-16, you should start second-guessing your game plan. Start questioning whether you actually really are prepared to go up against the world's greatest aggressor fleet.
Box one. Good hit on one.
Being the bad guys, we don't necessarily replicate a certain country, but more a threat. So we'll replicate certain threat systems depending on what the good guys are training to that day.
Strikers inbound.
We really are kind of the holders of the latest and greatest technology that our adversaries are out there employing with today. So that's kind of the fun part in the training. So we not only train them air to air when we're actually flying and employing against them, but also out there day to day we can brief them in mass, not only pilots but also intel and whoever else wants to hear those briefs.
So in the back of my mind, I'm coming up with this plan to poke holes in what I think blue is going to do, but really the underlying thought that I'm having is I hope they can crack this, this problem set. And actually kill us, defeat us, and we not obtain our objectives. Because again, if we are losing, if we are not obtaining our objectives on a certain mission as an aggressor, that means blue is doing their job.
Well, these appear to be heading directly at us. I'm coming.
So the original intent of Red Flag was to provide those first 10 combat missions to the young CAF wingman. I want to provide competent and capable, qualified air crew to the combat air forces. I want them to have a credible sparring partner. It's high stress. You have to make a lot of decisions quickly. The intent is for You need to have a hard problem to solve so that when you go to combat, it's not as difficult as what you saw here and leave here as the baddest kid on the block.
Yeah, the aggressors are the Air Force's dedicated unit tasked to do nothing but replicate adversary tactics. Units are willing to fly and train with us to fly against the next best thing to actual combat. We take all the lessons we've learned in our studies to all three: know the threat, teach the threat, and then finally replicate the threat. So while flying is only one aspect of what we do, the other parts of knowing, teaching, adds to our credibility when people start asking us questions in the debrief of why something happened or better ways to do it in the future. So on a good day is when we go up airborne, we go fly, we're flying against the weapons school or red flag, and they've trained everything and they end up winning the air battle. That's a good day for me because the blue air is trained well, they're getting the job done. Likewise, if we go up airborne and we start shooting down blue air, that's a chance for them to identify errors in their game plan or their tactics that next time they get better, so when they really do have to go up against our near-peer adversaries, they're better prepared. There's no bad day in aggressors.